Each day, more and more people are listening to music on Spotify, and that's also true for podcasts. Next time you're on the Spotify app, make sure to follow Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond. Enjoy listening to Lou, his incredible guests, and all of the amazing episodes. Listen, follow, and share. Thrive Loud on Spotify.
I'm afraid I'm going to have to pull rank on you. I don't want to have to do this, but I'm with the mattress police. There are no tags on Lou Diamond's mattresses. Plenty of stains, but no tags.
I don't need to teach you to be more like me. I need to teach you to be more like you.
Longtime listener and a huge fan.
Lou, I am tremendous.
And the more I unplug from technology and people, the more I can serve people with technology.
What you're standing for with connection, I think it's the key to everything.
You're just an amazing breath of fresh air for sure.
Lou, you're a diamond in the rough, my man.
Because for me, if I'm not living high energy, I'm surviving and I want to be thriving.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
I love it.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. I'm your host, Lou Diamond. Today on Thrive Loud, we have the co-founder of Local Marketing Vault. He's an 8-figure business owner who has helped thousands of entrepreneurs make their first thousands online, with more than a dozen clients making over $1 million. Thrive Loud listeners, James Bonadies. James, how are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. We were chit-chatting before we hit record here to get ourselves rocking and rolling. You got some pretty badass old school headphones, which I thought were really cool.
Yeah,
covering
totally
yours.
good.
I want to talk about what you do and how this became your gig. Can you give like a little bit of a rewind story? Not all the way to the womb, but just start from a point of where like this became the gig that you focus on each and every day.
Sure. Ready for it? Let's give a 30-second commercial. So, Rutgers University, majored in economics, graduated, became a teacher because I didn't know what else to do. I was a teacher in a very bad area in New Jersey. And as much as I actually enjoyed it, the money was terrible, as you can imagine. For all the teachers out there, I feel your pain, believe me. So what did I do? I did what most people do. You know, how do you make extra money? Went online, found certain things, failed for years and years, spent a ton of money on courses and coaching programs, and just nothing really made much sense to me. And then one day I saw a Facebook ad, and it had, I love telling the story because the ad was such good, was written so well, but the picture was basically a guy who had two hands. Looks like he was working his whole life, you know, they're all dirty and stuff. And it said hard workers wanted. And I said, my golly, that's about all I got. I'm a hard worker. That's it. Anything else like knowledge and stuff I can learn, but I work hard. And it was about how to get businesses more leads and customers. And it made sense and it was logical. It wasn't the promising you the world and these tricks and trickery and all that stuff. It was a real business. And I jumped into it in 2014, started making really good money while I was still teaching. And I was doing it part-time. I was making, in 2016, I made 3 times the amount of money as I did as a teacher. And I said, now it's time to get out of teaching. And I went full-time, built a 7-figure local marketing agency. And my business, and then I became partners with my business partner. And we took the concept that we used that worked in our business and we started sharing it with other people slowly, and it just kind of caught fire. And our main business is teaching other people how to do the same thing, build a marketing agency, working with local businesses.
Okay, so let's go through a little bit without sharing the entire solution of what you do.
Sure.
Give a little hint on how you're helping these businesses achieve and be successful in this way.
Sure. So for local businesses, they're running their business day to day. So they all they're doing is hiring big marketing agencies that are more kind of burn and churn, the corporate ones. and they're not getting the results that they need. They're not getting the attention they need. And when somebody like myself or one of our students talks to business owners, they get a more personal feel. And so we'll do that through search engine optimization. We'll do that through Facebook generating leads, through Facebook advertising, YouTube ads. And so what a business owner doesn't know how to do, we step in and do it.
Okay, gotcha. So you take care of that marketing focus, but for the local businesses around, is that the main area of who you focus on?
Yep. So main area within 10, 15, 20 miles. But we do have, we have clients in California, we have clients in Oregon. So this could be done anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter.
So what type of businesses can you specifically help locally? There's lots of businesses out there. What is the main niche, or is there a main niche, or is it just basically the way for companies to target in their local space?
It could be done with any business, but we have 37 main niches that we've had clients in, that, it would be, I hate to use the gyms, right? Because nowadays gyms feel so bad for the gyms, and restaurants, of course. But PI, dental, more high paying is what now my agency does. But for our students, we have, plumbers, electrician, a lot of blue collar niches, pool installation. I mean, I can go on and on. There's a ton.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So really helping those smaller businesses that have really good niches, and you're helping them figure out the way for them to better market their businesses and services through the method that you've done successfully.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very cool and very needed, by the way. Obviously, there's
especially now.
Yeah, especially now, and especially with local support. Let's talk about now and maybe what this year has been like, because obviously the messaging this year has been a little bit different than it's been in the past. Share maybe some of the things you've had to help people with a little differently because of how COVID worked this year that maybe transformed their business in 2020.
Yeah. So, it's interesting because we've seen a lot of our students who are running this business. I remember in March, in April, I was freaking out. I was like, man, what are we thinking that the world was ending? And, our biggest message was just stay the course. Businesses, we had that 2 to 3 week complete lockdown. Well, geez, I don't even know how long it was at this point.
I think you're right, though. It was like at that 3 week lockdown where nothing
where
was open.
Nobody moved.
Yep.
And so, when businesses slowly started to open back up, it was like, now you the opportunity to go out and find more was bigger than it ever was. And it turned out to be that businesses, although they were worried about money, they got the PPP loans, which helped a lot. And so now they had this kind of cash pile of money to use toward marketing. So we actually saw businesses who actually never thought about hiring outside people to do their marketing, now hiring outside people to do their marketing and saying, go out there and get me my customers back. Let's market to my existing customers. And that's all the stuff that we teach. And so I think the biggest thing this year was just keeping your mind right and staying motivated and encouraged that everything's going to be okay. As my dad used to say, this too shall pass.
Yeah. I'm dying to ask this question because this is timely, as I just got current on The Mandalorian. Can you share with our listeners a little bit more about the Baby Yoda strategy?
Sure. It's funny, when I told Victoria that, she laughed at me. So the Baby Yoda strategy is essentially, it's how we sell to local businesses. Traditionally, a marketing agency will come in and slap them with a $5,000 a month retainer, let's say. And, for somebody who is starting to do this on the side and they just want to earn $1,000 extra a month, it's very difficult for them to go to a business owner and pitch a $5,000 a month retainer.
Right.
And so what we teach is starting small. And so like rep management, getting more good reviews online. It's such an easy sell. It's so easy to get them results that it's the perfect upfront service to provide. And then we basically essentially upsell them, right? And for anybody who doesn't know what an upsell is, it's essentially you sell them one thing, and then when they're happy, they know they like you, they trust you. It's so much easier to sell them that $1,000, that $3,000, that $5,000 package. And so that's kind of the Baby Yoda was tied into Netflix. Everybody cancels Cablevision, or I say Cablevision, but cable, because they don't want the $300-$400 a month bill, and they go to streaming. And they get the Netflix, $15 a month. And then they're like, well, let me get Hulu too. It's only another 10. And then they're like, oh, well, let me get ESPN Plus because I do want to watch sports. And the next thing you know it, what happens? They're at a $300 a month bill with all the streaming services. And so that's kind of the concept. It's like, it's easier to chip away and sell little things to businesses than it is to come in with such a big package. And we use Baby Yoda because my son, when he was 4 or 5, he saw a commercial and with Baby Yoda, and he's like, I want to watch Baby Yoda. And I'm like, oh God, all right, fine. And I added Disney Plus to my 10 other streaming companies that I pay for.
I'll let you know you're not alone.
I'm sure I'm not.
That little guy's so cute. Anyway, so this is really cool, and I totally agree with you. And specifically for those entrepreneurs who are getting started, and I also think you're probably really busy, James, because so many people this year have had to reshift, refocus. I will not use the P word on this show to change the way they think about growing their business. Let me just spin this back on you. Did what happened this year make you guys have to change the way you focus on your business? And I'm thinking specifically because so many of those small businesses that maybe you had been targeting might have been hit pretty hard. Was there a shift internally at Local Marketing Vault?
There was a shift in who, right? So there was a shift in, we've worked with gyms before, and we unfortunately stopped working with gyms, restaurants. We used to do a lot of like coupon deals and stuff like that. And as much as you want to be able to continue to working with those companies to help them, they're not ready to be helped yet. And so we started to go after companies that can be helped. So that would be people who are deemed essential, right? You have your electricians and you have your plumbers, and lawyers haven't gone anywhere. They're doing trials over Zoom calls. So we do a lot of personal injury attorneys. Yeah. And so the shift has just kind of been like, who should we be working with? Because now it's not everybody, it's certain industries. And then the other industries, they'll be back soon enough.
I like it. I want to dive a little bit. I love the entrepreneurial story here of going from being a teacher to an entrepreneur to helping to make other entrepreneurs more entrepreneurial. Love this journey that you've been on, James. Pretty cool. Let alone the whole Baby Yoda thing, which is cool enough. I wanted to get one. They're pretty pricey. They're like $40.
I know, it's crazy.
And you're kicking on all cylinders in these last few years. As many people who listen to the show know, you are thriving. But we obviously have those days when we're not quite thriving and we're a little off our game. James, when you're not having a solid day and you need to get back on track, what practice do you seek, or what individual do you seek out to get yourself back thriving again?
And by the way, I have a lot of those days, just so you know.
Everybody does. We just like to make it more dramatic the way we ask that question.
Yeah. So what I actually do is I'll get in my car and just drive. And I'll throw on a podcast. I'll throw on, sometimes just music. And it's funny because a lot of people can't do this, and I used to not be able to do it. I literally think about my life when in 2012 and 2013 when I was making $45,000 a year, and I was like, I think about worse times, and I make a conscious effort to do that. It's funny you asked me this because I actually never talked about this, and where I can compare where I am now to where I was, and how grateful I am to being where I am now, rather than where I was. And also understanding the journey, right? I always talk about this to our students. When bad things happen, it's just a better story that you're building. And if I'm able to say that to 5,600 people on our weekly calls, then I need to be able to also live that if I'm preaching it, I better be doing it. And so I make a very conscious effort to always think about my story. And sometimes I'll even literally drive my car and pretend I'm on stage and tell my story. And it just, I don't know, it puts me in this mode of being grateful for where I am now.
James, I used to practice a lot of the speeches I deliver when I drive in a car. And I'm really glad for the Bluetooth wireless world that we live in, because, years ago, people would think I was crazy. It would look like I was talking to myself, but I've been doing that for decades. But I love that you get in a car and try and figure out how you can get yourself back on. Pretty cool. Going for the drive. You go anywhere in particular, or is it just an aimless route?
It's actually, I own some real estate. Okay. So I'll sometimes just drive by there and drive back. And, sometimes I'll go to Home Depot and Lowe's, to be honest with you, just like walk around the aisles, just to get my mind out of what's frustrating me and kind of more into just thinking about the story and thinking about where life is going and the things I'm excited about. So just kind of step away, do those things. I
used to live in a place that was really close to a Home Depot, like not even 2 miles away. And I found that I can't go there anymore because every time I went in there, I kept spending at least $100, if not more.
Oh, 100%.
And, I just felt it was just the sucking things out of my wallet store.
In time.
In time, exactly. Let's do this. Let's share with the listeners the admin part of the show here. James, share with the listeners all the places people can find you, websites, links, things going on in your world, social media stuff. We will put it on the show notes, but it always gets more engagement when they hear it from you.
Yeah, sure. So you can, if anybody would like to learn on how to start a business, working with local businesses, especially in the time that we are now, and I can tell you right now, the opportunity is going to be even bigger in the next 6 to 12 months. You can go to localmarketingvault.com. It's self-explanatory once you get there. You can also visit my YouTube channel at youtube.com/C/James Bonadies. And that's it. I keep it very simple. Facebook, I'm not even really on Instagram. Social media is not a big thing with me. So you could build a big business without having a lot of social media, but you can find me on Facebook. Just look up James Bonadies. There's not many of us there.
Permission, James, to go down Fun Street with you.
Let's do it.
Okay. Can you share with the listeners an all-time favorite movie of yours?
I saw that on the email and I was like, yes. It's such an easy pick. A Bronx Tale, 1993.
Why does that movie connect so much with you?
Oh man, that movie is just unbelievable. First of all, the story behind A Bronx Tale, of how it was made, the struggle of who wrote it, Chaz, who wrote it, and all the money he turned down, even when he was completely broke, because he wanted to have full control and rights of it. Just that story that nobody even knows about, I love. And then the story told, I mean, it's a kid that is chasing money and he's willing to, and his father's teaching him, there's good money and there's bad money. In that moment when his father says, or when Sonny says to the son, a working man is a sucker. And the father, tries to explain to his, it's not true. He's the sucker. He's the sucker. Fast money, people who want fast money is a sucker. And I don't know. It's just, it's just a great movie.
Just I have a personal connection to that movie. You want to hear the story?
Sure, absolutely.
So for those that are familiar with this, the area, it's directed by De Niro, and obviously Chaz was one of the executive producers. They filmed the entire movie in Astoria, Queens, because the area of the Bronx that they were representing had already changed dramatically from the time that was there, from the highways and the neighborhoods. And the area of Astoria was the closest to what it resembled for what they wanted it to be. And my dad had a store on the main thoroughfare street there, which is Steinway Street. So when they were filming that movie, I was working in the stores, and when the ending of the shoot came in, De Niro and Chaz, they threw a party for everyone in Astoria, and it was a blast. And I got to meet De Niro, which was pretty cool.
That is awesome. That's fun. Small world.
Cool. I love that, and I love that movie too. It's really cool. It's cool to see also where they filmed it and go by those neighborhoods. So
yeah, absolutely. That's awesome.
All right, ready to do the speed round here of Fun Street here, James. I know you are. I know you're prepared, and you're going to have no idea what's going to happen. Because
I literally don't.
Yes, exactly. Because what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to ask you a certain thing. I want you to, the first thing that comes to your mind, things that make you feel good, things that lift you up, things that make you thrive. All right, ready?
Yep.
Okay, a song that picks you up or pumps you up or that you love to listen to.
It would be country. See, you're going to put me on the spot here.
You can give an artist if that's okay with you.
Yeah, I can give an artist. Okay. Because I listen to, it's all country. So I would say Luke Combs.
Okay.
But I don't know the name of the song.
That's okay. A favorite food that's not a dessert.
Oranges.
A favorite dessert.
Key lime pie.
An activity you wish you did more of.
Golf.
An activity you wish you did less of.
Eating.
If you could snap your fingers and go anywhere in the world, where are you?
St. Bart's.
Ooh, that's a nice pick there. James Bonadies, the guy who's got the Baby Yoda strategy, co-founder of Local Marketing Vault. It's truly a pleasure. Thanks for what you're doing, man. You're helping all these companies kind of get their act together and make money themselves, which is a pretty solid game plan, and moving from teacher to teaching others how to be better entrepreneurs. Thanks for coming on Thrive Loud today.
I appreciate the time. Thanks so much.
You got it. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us. And until next time, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Head on over to Spotify, Good Pods, or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe and listen to all of our incredible episodes. Follow Lou at Thrive Loud everywhere on social media, and head on over to thriveloud.com to connect directly to Lou and learn how you and your business can thrive loud too. Thanks for listening.